Morning everybody, this is Gator with eCells e-bikes, and today we are going to unveil and assemble the brand new dual step start. We are going to be using a 15mm box wrench, a 12mm, and a 10mm. For Allen wrenches, we will use a number 4, a number 5, and a number 6. A 15mm socket for the front axle, and a pair of snips to cut all the zip ties and everything loose. As always, we'll start with removing some foam and getting our accessories out. I always find it easier to pull the front tire with the seat removed. For anybody that's watched an assembly video with me, now is the perfect time to start airing up this front tire. To do that, we're going to use our eCells micro air pump. We're set for 19.5 psi. And all we will do is hook the air pump on. Now we're going to turn the air pump on. As you see, we're set for 19.5 psi. The tire is presently at 0. Once we hit start, this will start inflating the tire for us, and when it reaches 19.5, it will cut off automatically so we can continue doing other things and not worry about this. In our accessory box, we will have literature on the bike, your second charger, pedals, cargo net, wrenches, derailleur guard, axle caps. You should also have your tool kit, and the only accessories we have left are going to be your helmet and your headlight. Next, we're going to remove the bike so that we can continue with the assembly. And to do that, I am incorporating the help of our newest employee. This is Brian. At this point, what will be easiest is we're going to unwrap this foam here and get the front end, all the foam off the bike so that we can place the handlebars on. Once the handlebars are placed on, then we can flip the bike upside down. We'll be able to do pedal installation and install the front wheel. With the bike unwrapped, we will now proceed with handlebar installation. Now, as I got my handlebars ready to bring in the upright position, I haven't tightened all of these bolts down so that I can make any minor adjustments I need to make sure it's centered. And what I like to do is I start with the back and apply the pressure to these two bolts first. And as we flip the handlebars up, the reason being is as the handlebars come higher to the upright position, it gets to be a little bit harder to get your wrench in. So we kind of have these two bolts preset, and now when we apply pressure to the front two bolts, it will put more pressure on the back two bolts and make sure everything is held down tightly. Couple extra turn or two on the bottom, but you see what I mean about getting in with the wrench sometimes. And anyways, that was my little trick to make life easier. At this point, we're ready to flip the bike upside down to install the front tire, pedals, and finish our assembly. Rotate the display forward to make sure it's always protected. And these connections here, I'm not going to make them yet so that when we flip the bike upside down, nothing can ever happen with the buttons being pushed and powering the bike up. Front tire installation, we'll remove the fork saver and the brake pad spacer. Open your axle nuts all the way, and when you're dropping the front tire in, the most important part here is to make sure that the rotor is aligned with the opening in the brakes. And with a number 15, tighten and secure your axle nuts. With our front wheel secured, we'll now put the pedals on. As always, you must remember, pedals are keyed, right and left. The right side is your chain or drive side. Your left side is the non-drive side. And with a 15 box wrench, we'll just snug and secure that one. Same for the other side. We will remove the cap that was protecting our derailleur. With this cap removed and the bike upside down, this is a very easy, simple time to put those rear axle caps on. As we move this derailleur line out of the way, these two screws, those are for that derailleur guard. So if you would like to get derailleur guard on, this is an excellent time to put that on. My personal recommendation, put it on. What the derailleur guard does is help if anything hits the side, instead of smashing straight into your derailleur, bending it, throwing out of adjustment. Kind of gives you a little guard to protect it. Something to keep stuff from pushing right against it. Our derailleur guard is now in place. Our rear tire is aired up. Our front tire is aired up. Our pedals are on. We're ready to flip this bike over. We're going to install the fender first and then the headlight. Reason being, headlight in the way, it makes it a little harder to work in here, just for me. But that's a personal preference thing. You can do what you want. Take the fender from the back of the bike, rotate through. The bolt should always face forward. Reason being is if something happens and you have fork failure, if the bolt is facing to the back, your excess thread is also facing this way, so when the collapse happens, Lord forbid, that bolt is going to mar and damage this. If all that extra threading's facing forward, it can't do that. Okay, if you notice, we didn't fully tighten down the fender here, and the reason is this fender has extra hangers, so if we tighten that down all the way first, we might not be able to get them to align. Now, on this, we are not going to tighten this side down either until we have the other side on, so that we can adjust everything all at once and tighten everything down, knowing it's properly aligned. With both of our nuts started for our brace, we'll now lift the fender up to proper position, and now we'll just tighten our fender bolt up first. And as we get closer to where it's snug now, we're just going to make sure everything's up. Everything's clearing properly. So we'll go ahead and get everybody snug down. For the headlight bolts, you'll notice we have metal washers, a rubber washer, receiver for the bolt. The metal washers go to the outside, the rubber washers on the inside, and then your headlight. Purpose of the rubber washer is so that you get less vibration, and as you tighten the bolt, the rubber helps hold it in place, and you will do less headlight adjusting that way. We'll slide both clips in towards each other, and now we'll place our other bolt in, and with a number 12 box wrench, we'll tighten her on down. That looks to be about right to me. At this point, our headlights on, our fenders on, front wheels on, aired up. We have pedals on, our rear tire is aired up. We're ready to make all of our wiring connections and secure those. Very simple, everything is keyed. Green triangle, green triangle. Yellow triangle, yellow triangle. Round red to round red. You do have two small red triangles that look the exact same. These are your brake lever kill switches, and it does not matter front and back. A keynote, all of our connections are keyed, meaning there is an arrow on one side to make sure that you're aligned and plugging in properly. We'll now make our headlight connection. All of our connections are made. We'll rotate our display into a riding position, and we'll get her charged up. Okay, we're ready to power the bike up, test a couple things out real quick, and then we're going to get her on the charger. To turn the bike on, middle button, hold it down, she fires over. First we're going to check, see if we got a rear motor. I've got the bike leaning on the kickstand and just a slight tap of the throttle. Now we need to test the headlight. To turn the headlight on, it's just hold the plus or the up arrow down for a few seconds. And as we look at my hand, we have the light. To turn the headlight off, same routine. Just hold that up arrow down for a few seconds and she shuts off. The tail light does turn on and off with the activation of the headlight. You also have a brake light. If you hold the down arrow down, it activates the bike's walk assist feature to help you bring it up a ramp or anything like that. Your keys came located on the front of your handlebars. We'll remove those. Two front keys, the larger key. Two rear keys, the smaller key. Separate these, make them two sets. That way you always have a spare at the house. To remove the rear battery, insert the key, rotate, remove. To insert the battery, place it in the tray, slide it in, rotate the key, locked. For the front battery, little bit different system, insert the key, turn. The battery is now unlocked, but you have to take this slide clip at the front, push it up to the bike to release the battery. You'll hear it disengage. Remove to install. Drop your bottom end in first. Push forward. This particular style lock and key system, the keys will not come out on the front if it is not in the lock position. The only thing we have left is to charge her up. For your rear battery, you've got a little plug at the back. Plug your charger in. The charger has gone from green to red to indicate that it's charging. When this charger turns green, we're charged and ready to roll. For your front battery, we'll take our second charger, and right here we have an access port, and this is where the front battery's charging plug is located. Insert. We've turned from green to red, and our front battery is charging. When those both turn green, it's time to have a good time. Well, there we are. The dual step star assembled, completed, charged up. We truly enjoyed putting this bike together, showing you the assembly process. You keep bringing the questions, we'll keep bringing the answers. For now, it's time for the Gator to do what Gator does best. Let's test this little monster out.